Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Transformers 2022 crossover with G.I. Joe, Bumblebee and A.W.E Striker. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. And then, to be honest, because this figure I don't really know anything about at all, the main reason I brought this is because I think the alternate mode looks amazing and I think it looks really clean. There's hardly any join marks or I can see how he becomes this. So I'm really intrigued by this figure. I don't think I'm going to actually open up the G.I. Joe character. I might keep him sealed and then put some Transformers Action Masters in his seats as well, and then we can also see how he looks and compares and in fact displays with a few of the other more recent Transformer figures. So what we've got, and I suppose I like about this, is of course on this side of the box we've got like G.I. Joe, there it is in great big letters, and then on the other side, and you'll have to excuse me, I haven't got much space here, this box is huge. If I pan back, this is obviously very much like a Generation 1 box, so I really like the look of that. I think it just works. It looks unfortunately like the only way to get into this box is to cut through these. There's one by the looks of these on every single side. What's holding that in? Or did I not cut it properly? No, I don't think I did. I know there's one on the back. I've just done a quick, oh no, it's actually the part of his arm is coming round and underneath, so that's separated that. I've done the one on the top, I've got to do the one on the underside. Let's just turn this around. You might want to stay and watch the outtakes at the end of this as well, because the reason why everything is off center and I've had to keep adjusting the camera is because this is so big. It just knocked the whole of this apart. Literally my whole set fell down, so I'm going to put that up at the end of this. So look, we can slide this off now. Oh wow, see, got no idea about this whatsoever. This is all completely new to me, and if you're wondering why that's the case, when I'm doing my reviews, I mean, sometimes I've seen pictures, of course I've seen pictures of the actual product, but when I'm doing these I like them to be as honest as possible. So all of my first impressions are completely genuine. I had absolutely no idea there was like a shipping box inside this. There we've got lovely printed, this reminds me of course of very much of the older generation selects with nothing on them. That's pretty cool, to be fair. Top secret. Now I imagine that a lot of people as well who are watching this channel, who've maybe been watching this channel for a long time, are wondering again why I got this, because I don't really have any affiliation for G.I. Joe. For those of you who don't know, in the UK it was known as Action Force. It was the B side to all the, well, it was the B story in the comics, and I never read it and I still don't. There is Bumblebee, there is all his accessories. Let's see how this is, it going to fall out? And there indeed is the carded mint on seal card Action Force. See, I'm still calling it Action Force G.I. Joe figure. I'm going to show you that, but I'm not going to take it out. And what I'm going to do now is set him free from the packaging and come right back to you. Okay then, so I've set him free from the packaging and it's time for some first impressions. Then we're going to look at him in his alternate mode before coming back in the robot mode for some display and seeing out what other accessories and weapons he can hold, ideas. Now, first and foremost, I've got to be completely honest, I think the packaging was perhaps a bit too big for what exactly we get inside. All you are really is getting these together with a few accessories, but the packaging and the box, it couldn't even fit on screen. It was huge. So maybe if they'd have packaged him in alternate mode, it might have been a bit better and saved on a bit of size of that. The other thing as well is, although it looks good, I do think it looks good, I'm going to show you in more detail in a second, it feels quite fragile, and I know that some of my subscribers aren't going to like this as soon as I spin it around. There's huge gaps all over this. It feels, how can I word it? I suppose just, look at the light, flimsy, that's probably the word I'm looking for. It feels flimsy. Now the head sculpt on the other hand looks spectacular. The paint and the deco on him looks really good. The articulation, we've got the arms going all the way around out to the side, or apart from where it's inhibited by the back of the truck. We've got a bicep flexion, we've got a wrist Yep, we've got a wrist swivel as well. We've got a waist swivel. We've got hips out to the side. See what I mean? It's really sort of loose. And I suppose flimsy. I mean, I'm not even sure. Don't get me wrong. This probably isn't how he's going to be displayed in robot mode. This is just how I've taken him out of the box. And he keeps flopping over already. So I can just do some first impressions. The translucent plastic there, and it looks pretty good. I haven't attached all the accessories to it yet. I've got the instructions there. Again, this is just first impressions straight out of the box. So let's just have a quick look at this. Again, I'm not going to be opening this. This is a carded figure. It does look really good. Lonzo, Stalker, Wilkinson. And if I spin it around to the back, anybody who wants to read this can pause and read it now. Lovely bit of artwork there. I'm going to spin it around, and as I said, that as for first impressions, it's okay. It's just really, I mean, this is going to give you an idea. It's just going to flip back now, but let's see if the alternate mode is any better, and then, as I say, we'll come back with him in robot mode one more time after that. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's in his alternate mode already. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. That's for a couple of reasons. One, to keep the very length of the video down, and two, not to spoil it for anybody who wants to indeed purchase this for themselves and don't want it spoiling for them. Right, as you can see, I've already put the cage on as well. I've just noticed the hands have just come off a little bit as well, but these all do click. Well, this is giving you a pretty much idea of what's going on with the transformation anyway underneath. And I still stand by what I said in the first part. It still sort of feels flimsy, shall we say. It's just, you can see it's coming off quite easily. Now, this should tab in on that tab on the underside. I'm going to press that right in. There we go. So that should hold it. I think it looks really good though. It does feel flimsy. I like the artwork on it. The tampographs on it do look good. And as I said, one of the main reasons why I wanted to purchase this is it did look like it all tucks away really quite neat, which, to be honest, I suppose it does. Although saying that now, I'm really struggling with keeping mine together. So as I said, I've already attached the roll bar cage to it. What I haven't attached yet is the gun to the roof. This, of course, moves as well on the top. And we've also got, obviously, the other accessories. This is brand new. Obviously, I perhaps should have had a go at putting this in before we went on to it, but it should. Is it going to, there we go, that's gone in, no problem. It's a shame that hasn't got anything you can fire out of it, to be honest. And these obviously can be attached either side as well. I'm not going to forcefully push them all in, but as I was transforming this, and to be honest, I've got to confess, I got a couple of ideas from xover, who does the photos for TF Source. Great guy. I'm proud to say I've met him in person. He did something which I thought was brilliant. He got the original Action Masters and he put them with these, and to be honest, that's basically what this is. This is just like a huge updated version. That was the box falling over behind me, by the way, if you're wondering what that was, of the old original Action Masters, because the old original Action Masters are something pretty much like this. Although this transforms into obviously a robot, these were actually little play sets that did transform to and from things, and these came out at the tail end of Transformers. And indeed, I believe they brought these out, and I'm sure I've read this on a number of occasions, in a way to try and bring sales up, because at the time G.I. Joe figures were outperforming Transformers. So what they did was they basically made G.I. Joe figures here with transforming bases, and indeed ships, etc., which pretty much what G.I. Joe and indeed Action Forces, it was known in the UK, was doing. So it's just like, again, exactly that. It's a modern, updated, better technology version of exactly that. And I love the fact, again, this is xover's idea. You've got the peg on the back there, so you can actually have Bumblebee riding on Bumblebee. And indeed, as I said, I'm not going to take him out, but you can fit the Transformers Action Master figures in here as well. So as I said, I take no credit from this. This is from one of xover's photos on his Instagram page. Now, whether or not he put this up on TF Source, I'm not too sure, and I'm typically now struggling trying to get them in, but he does actually fit. Oh, let's put his leg down. He will actually fit inside as well, as you can see. So great idea, xover. Had to copy it for this video, sorry about that, pal. But yeah, this is basically just a updated Action Master figure, because it is exactly that. It's a mini playset. It displays in this mode and it will transform into another mode. The only thing with this is it transforms into a robot, whereas I say the Action Master playsets change between two different normally forms of transport, to be honest. Like obviously Megatron's was a tank and a jet, and that's what I feel this is. So but the other thing for this as well, even though I've got no affiliation for G.I. Joe, don't really, you know, it's not one of my biggest things. I think because they've managed to intertwine the two together, I think it's a brilliant idea for that, and it's going to tick a lot more people's boxes with regards to whether they want to get this or not. Let's just put Bumblebee up on here as well. Then let's see if he fits. I'm sure he does because I had it earlier. If not, he can definitely, yeah, there's a little peg there. You can see we can tap this in. And in fact, I'm not even going to push him in. I'm not going to forcefully push it in. I can take his normal gun out of his hands. And we're going to finish this part of the video with him controlling him like that. So we're going to come back right now. He's going to be in robot mode. We've of course got everything attached so we can see how he looks and should look. Oh, Bumblebee's gone. When being displayed in robot mode with all of his accessories. Let's have a look at that then right now. Okay, then we're back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and this is pretty much near enough how he should look with everything attached. So he does look a lot better with the roll bar cage at the back, and indeed these turned up. They've got, of course, the wheel arches which have been folded up as well, which look great. I still go by the fact, and I've said this in every segment, that he just feels flimsy, but he looks a lot better like this. We can take the weapon that of course comes with him. I've took it off the back now, and again it's a 5mm peg, so you can pop this in his hand. And I imagine that, just had a thought actually, that you can probably do some crazy things with the fossilizers and indeed the Junkions with this. But because again it's all 5mm pegs, you can pretty much put whatever you want in his hand. So we've got a metal hawk sword, which, you know, will attach and will work really, really well, like so, if you wanted to. Or indeed, you know, anything, any of the weapons that we've got. I've got one of Needle Nose's Target Masters here, with the pretty much good colour scheme that I suppose works well with this as well. I think it's zigzag. I've probably got that wrong, but I think it's zigzag. But again, it just tends to work and looks really good. Now, the only problem with this is if you want to display it on a shelf at the back. Now, with the cage on, there is a huge amount of kibble, even though it's only, you know, there's nothing to it really, but you can see how far that sticks back. And again, you can see just what I mean, that you've got these really thin legs there that is holding and supporting the whole of this up. And I suppose that's the best example, visual example of describing exactly what I've just been saying regarding this. You could also, if you want to, you could attach this to the top of the shoulder as well. So there's quite a few ways that you can display all this, which again is quite fun. And as I've just said, I imagine that some genius, especially with the Junkions, because obviously the colour scheme I think would work quite well with this, could just make some crazy combinations. I don't think that looks too bad at all. I want to give you an idea of how big he is. So, right, let's get some figures up. So this is the Wreckers version of Bulkhead, because I think the colour scheme on this will go and look really good together. So you can see he's towering above that. Now I've got another older school Voyager class here, so this is a bit bigger. This is the Hinkei version of Inferno, which is a big figure as well, but not as big as this one. There we go. And then I thought I'd get another one with a similar sort, just a similar sort of colour scheme going on. That is, of course, G2 Generation Select Megatron, but once again, as you can see, the Bumblebee figure is towering above him. But yeah, this could be a bit of fun, as I say, maybe for your core class figures, because he's so much bigger than all of these, so that you could have a bit of fun with the display there. Yeah, as I say, there's not too much to say about it. I think for me, it is good. It's a nice transformer. It does suit its purpose. I think if you love G.I. Joe, then you're onto an absolute winner, because it's obviously a no-brainer, because it ticks both boxes. Transformation and Transformers, you know, for this, it's an okay figure. It looks good. I don't know if I'm going to be displaying him, to be honest. I don't know where I've got the space for it. It's just a real nice niche, and if I've got to confess, it's one of the better crossover figures that they've done in a bit of time. To be fair, I think it does look good. I've not seen the Hiss tank yet. I may have to get that now just to see how it compares to this, but hopefully I've given you a bit of an idea of what he's like, what you can do with him, and how you can display, etc. If I missed anything out, apologies. Let me know in the comments, and I can always update this video. But for my first impressions on him and how he looks, he's pretty damn good, to be fair, and I look forward to seeing him. I'm really intrigued to see if the Soundwave one, see if they do that, to be fair, because I play the Earth Wars games, and they've obviously done a few. They've done the Jetfire one, and they did a Soundwave and a Hound one, so maybe that would be interesting if they come out in the future as well. But anyway, let's wrap this video up. Let's move everything that shouldn't really be there, because again, if you're buying the set, this is what you're getting. You're not getting this, and you're not getting this. You're getting, of course, the giant Bumblebee, and of course you're getting Lonzo, Stalker, Wilson. So there you go, guys. This is the Crossovers 2022 G.I. Joe and Bumblebee figure. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care. Itself is really nice looking. Again, it's huge, by the way, so I'm doing my best to fit it in where we've got the side of the box, this side obviously, which looks very much like a Transformers Generation 1 box. Can we see that there? Oh no. All right, that's the whole set falling down.